just want to make sure that's recorded so other people can get the value of it. So thank you so much, Ms. Heather. Let's start out because the first thing is Laura said she had some questions. Let's answer some of those. I'd imagine before a listing coming up, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. So the house that we're working with the seller, he has solar panels that he does not own. Okay. So I know that there is an addendum, and so I printed that out just to kind of read through it. And that, I mean, is that it? I mean, he gave us his information, like the bank information, how much he owes. How do we incorporate that into the listing? I know that we have to, put it with the listing as far as an addendum attached, but I guess just what else kind of details do we need?
To save you a lot of trouble, it's going to come, you're going to get agents all the time asking you, what are the payments? What are the payments? What are the payments? So with your seller's consent, once you get the listing, upload the lease agreement into your documents, upload a signed copy of the solar addendum transfer.
Okay.
That'll cover a lot of it because you're going to get a lot of agents that are going to call and ask and, hey, what are the payments? What are the payments? And then when you're doing your agent only remarks, put in there solar payment only. So if it's super low, like I had a lease, like solar leases will actually turn a lot of buyers off. I had a solar lease that was like $98 a month for the next 20 years because of the plan that this client had purchased back in 2013. It was awesome. And it was for a 2,000 square foot home to have electricity all year for $100 a month. So kind of a win. And it actually got me a $10,000 over list price asking, which was pretty cool because of that.
Okay, so, great. Thank you.
Just make sure you put the lease agreement in there because it's just going to save you a lot of headache in the long run.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions on that topic? Do you guys understand the differences in the lease and purchasing on a solar thing? Have you guys had any questions and customers asking about that?
If he did own it, obviously there's no more payments on it, but I guess at that point, would it be good to like show like what the electric bills are like and just to kind of show like the difference and how it's impactful?
If it's an owned system, there still could be a loan on it. So you want to make sure that it's paid off first.
Okay.
There are financing companies out there that will finance solar panels. I actually had them on my own personal house a while back that I sold. And you want to make sure that the loan was paid off or will be paid off at the close of escrow. And on top of that, you want to make sure that when they purchase a solar system versus a lease, you actually get a government tax incentive of around 30%. It's a dollar for dollar tax credit that they're supposed to apply towards the principal balance of the solar lease. And then it re-amortizes after 15 months of ownership to a much lower payment. If they haven't done that, a lot of the solar companies will not I wouldn't say the solar companies, the finance companies of the solar, like Dividend Finance, for one, will not let that loan be assumed until that net difference is paid. So whatever the rebate difference was, if that isn't paid, they will not let the loan be assumed. So having a purchase system is actually more difficult to get qualified for because it's just a secondary loan versus a lease, which is going to be something that can be taken off the house in the event that something happened. Still, your clients need to qualify for it.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you do want to showcase a little bit better, get some electric bills and put the last 6 months or so or the high yield. If you can get the statement that shows the entire year map, it's really beneficial to the claim because then you got a lot of people that are still on the fence about solar, but when they have a house that they can buy that's like a $25 a month electric bill and $150 a month for the solar payment, and then you're good to go on that. It just makes life so much easier. So it's pretty awesome.
Okay, right on. Thank you.
All right, how's everything else going for you guys? How was the weekend? Anything crucial? Just a lot of staring at a blank screen, huh? Same.
I have a client that wants to sell their house, but they want to buy a new house through that equity. So I don't know how to start with that.
Okay, that's not hard at all. Let's get the contract for the sale of their house. Pardon me. There's construction in my house. There's construction in my office. It's okay. So when they're selling a house, get the listing contract written up, and in the listing contract, you're going to have all the information in there, and then also have a buyer broker agreement when you sign your listing. Is when you go out and put offers in on another purchase, it's going to be extremely difficult for a seller to agree to put their house under contract with the deal that's contingent upon the sale of a house that's not even on the market yet. A lot of buyers are gonna be like, wait, I'm not gonna put my house up for sale until I find something. I completely understand that. We control the timelines. If you put your house on the market and you get an offer day one, are you gonna be more motivated to go find a house? A lot of sellers are leery of that because they hear, what, I'm gonna be homeless. Who controls the timeline? Us, right? So Eileen, just have that conversation with your client. Say, let's get your house ready for sale. Let's get a sign in the ground. Let's get it on the market. Let's get it rocking and rolling. And while they're doing that, at the same time, go out and look for houses. Let's put offers in on houses. You're going to have to put offers that are active contingent. But if you put an offer on a house, active contingent, and it's contingent upon the sale of another property, so a buyer contingency, and that buyer's house is already under contract, you're 80% to where you need to be on the agreement. I say 80% because right now we have a 20% DFT in the market, meaning that 20% of the homes don't close out. So as long as we're getting to a point where you're under contract, or it's on the market, you're under contract, you have a set closing day with a qualified buyer, you can be motivated on the buy side and you'll put in some aggressive offers. And in the event that you need an extra couple of days, always talk with the other agent to move timelines around and extend the closing on the sale of your house to match the buy of another house. I've done it a ton of times. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding when you have a buy sale transaction, because you're getting one client to sell their house, they're buying another house, so it's a captive audience. And hopefully you can pick up a buyer on the sale of the house and potentially get 3 deals. Or if you sell them a house that you're listing, that's 4 deals. It's 4 deals for one person. I love that line in the bold thing. If you guys were part of it, it's time to start being real about where we're at, but be really unrealistic. And I want to say really unrealistic about where you can go. Right to the point where I think Tess is going to become a tech expert. Super unrealistic, because I believe that this is the time to move and change and shake it up. So Eileen, if you got a client, let's go. Let's sit down and talk about it. If you need me to talk to him, I'm in. I also want to touch on something that Ricky brought up over this weekend, a little bit of seller greed. Why don't you tell us how that's going, Ricky?
Well, I wound up having to raise the price on the house from what I thought was already high, another $10,000. But they just wanted to raise the price just to see what would happen.
You know how we've talked about that in the past, how sellers get an offer on their house quickly, get seller greed, and want to get more offers? Well, what had happened with Ricky is they got an offer. What was it?
They got a full price offer plus $5,000 to cover most of their the seller concessions that they were asking for, which came out to about $7,200. And then my buyer just said, no, we want to list the house for $260 instead of the $250.
So the sellers came back and said, no, we're going to go up higher, because they've got seller greed. They instantly got that, hey, we got an offer first day, I think we can get more money. So I believe Ricky did everything he could to combat that and have the conversations of, this is unrealistic. We're already priced high in the market. We need to be aggressive. Even though we have limited inventory, we still have buyer paradise where they have the ability to go and wait a week and have 10 more houses pop up in some neighborhoods. Scarcity does add to the value of a property, but only to a certain point. You can't be ludicrous and just be throwing money at a deal. So when you have a seller like that, it's super important you guys pull them back into reality, have that conversation, and hit a pain point. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I understand that you feel like you can get more for your house. Right now, we're already above where I told you it would sell for based on the comparables of the area. If we change the price, we run the risk of changing the element of our marketing. That being said, we're going to lose some potential buyers because we're going up in price. And what's that going to feel like when you have to make 2 or 3 more mortgage payments? Right? It sets in a little differently. Right now, we've got a buyer that's willing to buy the house. They're going to give us X amount. They're going to ask us for some closing costs, and that's going to net you about $2,500 less than the list price of the house. So, you know, my first question to Ricky was, why wouldn't they counter instead of changing the price? But I think they've already discussed that too, right? So, because it's all understanding where they want to be at. Some hidden ideas that we don't know about is, you know, Ricky said that the wife is super involved in the house and has an emotional attachment to it. Emotions make for irrational decisions. We want to incite the most decisions and ask somebody to, you know, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars with us and buy a house. Not a very rational decision. You can't just compare, you know, this brand is this much per ounce, this brand is this much per ounce, I'm going to buy the better brand. You're looking at house per house per house and how it makes you feel. So we're spiking that emotion. When you have a seller that's doing that, it's going to make your life very difficult to pull them back into reality. And this is where you pull your hair out. Just saying, it happens. How do we combat emotion?
Logic.
With logic. Thank you, Robin. We talked about that. How do you combat logic?
You need to talk about the pain versus pleasure.
Emotion, the pain pleasure threshold. We need to have a pain response when we're trying to challenge it. Like, just like training a dog. I got a new puppy that I'm trying to work with. It's a pain in the ass, but I've got to challenge him to quit biting things. So what do? Bite him back. He didn't like that. He stopped biting me. Right? You get a seller that's like, hey, I want to up the price because you know what? $10,000 more. If they want to buy this house, somebody's going to pay for it. You're probably right. Somebody is going to pay for it. And as I know Ricky did, what's another constraint that we have to come over? What's another hurdle that is out of our, you know,
The appraisal.
The appraisal, absolutely. Do we get to dictate what the appraisal does? Are we in a marketplace where the appraisals are absolutely ridiculous? They make no sense at all. It's worked in my favor. It's also worked in my detriment. But we need to have those conversations and be as real and as transparent as we can be with our sellers and pull them off of these situations. So just a little insight of what was going on over the weekend. Also, working with some deals. Be careful when you're doing buyer sales. You look over all the information in the MLS. Can you put an offer for an FHA buyer on a house that has been owned for 30 days?
No, it has to be 90.
Okay. So Laura, I read your lips. You said, I don't think so. You can take yourself off it if you want. You guys can. But that was a question. I want you guys to know that, you know, the opportunities are out there in the housing market for people to do quick cash flips. Like they buy a house, they slap a coat of paint on it, paint a pig pink kind of thing, or putting lipstick on a pig, whatever the saying is. And they turn around and sell it real fast. But don't read the agent information or read the loan types, like the offers, cash, conventional only. What does that tell you? So somebody tell me what you think when you see this information. No SPDS.
Just move. I can't hear.
I keep muting Hope because of her car noise. So no SPDS, no clue will be given, and it's listed for conventional or cash only. What kind of seller is that?
It's a flip.
Okay. It's a flip. How do we know that?
Because they don't have a crew, they don't have spuds.
Okay. We can also go into the GIS, like click the information and go into the Camden County information search and see when the last time title changed. Look at the history of title. If it was just bought and sold in the last 60 or so days, then you know you're close on for an FHA deal. You know what kind of client you're working with. Typically, when you walk into the house, you know it's a flip or not, just based on, you know, new paint, new cabinet, carpets kind of thing. But when you're looking online, this came up. A client saw that in the notes. They put this in the public view, not the agent view. No SPDS, no clue will be given. What do clients think?
Something's wrong, almost like as is.
Thank you, Robin. That's awesome. What are they hiding? Right? What are they hiding? So this is the situation that I really want to nail home for you guys. If you have a client that is buying a house and the agent puts no SPDS will be provided, how do you handle that situation?
They still have to provide the spuds. I mean, I've gotten them to. My broker actually called the broker to get the spuds.
I don't believe they actually have to provide them, but they do have to provide what they know to be true. So you could get in contract without having spuds, but regardless, you could go back on them and say, we still need to know everything you know about the property.
Okay. So how many of you guys have read the contract where it actually goes over the timelines and what needs to be and what shall be delivered to the buyer in contractually dated timeframes? Go read that section again.
Yeah, 5 days to get the spuds to them, 5 days to get the clue.
So do they owe you spuds?
Yeah.
Is it possible that they're going to say no spuds to be given in the agent remarks on MLS? Does that get them out of giving you the spuds?
No.
What would get them out of giving you the spuds?
Nothing.
A counter or an addendum. Counter to the purchase contract saying no SPDS or whatever they will be provided, because in the contract it states that they shall be given. Now, it's your responsibility as an agent and a fiduciary for your client to track the timelines on when they're supposed to be given. It's 5 days after contract acceptance. After you get the SPDS, how many days do you have before your client can cancel the contract?
Say that again.
Do they have to receive the SPDS? Cancel the contract.
3 days.
Oh.
What was 3 days?
3 days to respond.
Okay.
So these are all super important things and now if you do have a client you're working, I'm sorry, I keep talking client, which is both sides. If you got a seller that's not going to issue an SPDS, this is what you do. You send a blank copy of the SPDS to your buyers to sign. And in the notes in the bottom, you put, seller unwilling or unable to, we use the term unwilling or unable to provide seller's property disclosure. And you let them know, guys, this is what information you are not receiving from the sellers. Do you wish to continue? And have them sign a blank one. Are you legally covered? Raise your hand if you want to get sued. That was easy. Really glad Jason didn't raise his hand. Don't need that. But yeah, so you send them a blank one. Now, do you use a notice or disclosure form? This is something I got tricked on because I learned it a long time ago. Is I sent a notice disclosure that said, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, the sellers are unwilling or unable to send over an SPDS. Please see the blank copy I put here. A notice or disclosure form actually gives the other side 5 days to cancel the contract.
Don't want that.
So don't use them. Kind of scary, right? And what you were doing is you thought you were protecting your buyer. So that was a pearl of wisdom that Lisa Sullivan gave me early on when working a deal. I just happened to be sitting there next to her and she was talking about it. I was like, wait, what? When did that happen? She's like, there's certain things that people don't know, and that's one of them that gets you in trouble. But I'm pull this up here. Documents, forms, residential profile sheet. All right. Did you guys all get Lisa's email on the listing changes, the new contract forms, the new labor forms?
Yes.
If you're using the templates in .loop or DocuSign or Transaction Desk, you should be fine. If you're using any other stored templates, make sure that they were auto-adjusted and make sure the information that is changed is shown on your templates so you guys don't get in trouble and have to rewrite contracts. Another question I'm getting a lot of, if you have to re-sign a contract for an FHA violation or FHA guide where you put a contract in before it's FHA eligible, you have to rewrite a contract and start the day over after eligibility, or a listing was signed on the wrong documentation after documents were issued, do you have to sign all the other forms again?
No.
Why not?
Because those were not affected. All that's affected is the date of close, the date of the contract.
Okay. What about an addendum to the listing agreement that was signed the day you signed the wrong document?
I believe that would need to be adjusted, but I'll let you tell me that.
This is all about getting your brains to expand. We're doing a little learning, got a little spreading, a little shredding. Ooh, yeah, you feel it? Did you guys stretch today? No? Good. You're gonna be sore tomorrow. Just a good habit to have. If you have to re-sign the base contract, re-sign everything. You definitely have to re-sign the addendums. Anything that is a party to that contract, you need to re-sign. Anything that's dated has to be re-signed. Wow, that's everything. Make sure you guys are just double checking that and having those conversations with your sellers, your buyers up front. And because they're like, wait, what are you hiding? Nothing. Please feel free to go over the contracts again. We just want to make sure we get the correct forms in because things changed and the dates have been off. We want to make sure that everything is dated correctly and we have everything that's concurrent. The way I look at it is it's like trying to paint a house that's not built yet and going back and changing the framework and not messing up the paint. You can't do it. You got to start again. So keep your files cleaner. That'll keep you paid faster and better. All right, more people join the call. So anything else, like any kind of topics you want to touch on, anything we can work together that's going to help you become a super kid? And those
super senior.
Go ahead.
Super senior.
I'm a kid at heart. Always will be. Youthfully inappropriate. All right, Tess, how are you coming along in your tech stuff?
I haven't moved from Saturday. I've got other priorities right now.
Okay, very cool. All right.
I gotta pay bills.
Yes, ma'am. I completely understand that. On a show of hands, who's joined Bold? Who's doing Bold?
All of us.
I'm gonna raise a hand for Charity's mom.
My mom.
So I've actually got two of the agents in the PC program that their moms are doing it, not them. It's kind of funny. So Wendy McBroom and you. Good stuff. Which is great, as Wendy's mom is actually an agent at Remax, so hopefully we can bring her over.
Okay.
Who's interested in building their downline and wanting to build profit share? Ricky wants some couch money, charity, test. Oh yeah. So keep an eye out in the future. We're going to be doing a profit share class with David Jones because he's actually one of the company's leaders in profit share. So we're going to do a class with him, and I'll make sure that you guys all get invited because it's only going to be targeted mostly to our top 20, the mega capper, because he's doing it for a national call. But because y'all are in here, I have a little bit of ability to go, hey, I'm bringing them with me. So I love how Kendra and Hope use the raise hand thing in the chat. I love that. That's cool. Good stuff. All right. Where are we at on our business for this month? Who's got deals lined up for closing? So we got Laura's got a listing that's going, and then another one live potential. On a percentage range, where are you at on securing that listing?
He keeps changing. He's been really fickle. So he doesn't know his timelines. He was waiting on what his son was going to do, whether or not he was going to move out. He doesn't know if he wants to go buy, if he wants to go rent. He doesn't know what he wants to. He's in a whole lot of things. Jason's going to meet with him on Thursday to like nail him down. He's ready to sign he's ready to sign paperwork. So we're almost there, just almost there. So I think Jason's going to talk to him in person to kind of really just, okay, let's talk through all of this and, give him that logic. So I think he has a lot of emotion going on. So, yeah, we're super close. I thought we would have it by now, but I think we'll have it by the end of the week.
Jason's going over there with all the contracts and just have an exempt delay on it and give him a couple of weeks to get the house, like get him ready.
Right.
Right away. So
do I use the coming soon or do I use the exempt delay?
However you want to market it.
Coming soon, probably.
Yeah, whatever way you're going to market it, use that form. That's what it gives you the flexibility.
Okay. All right.
Like I use exempt delays on houses,
right,
where it needs some work before we can go live.
Right, and that's where we've been working with them for about a month. So, and just helping them get contractors in there to get stuff cleaned up and painted and cleaned out and all of that. So he's taking off this week to work on the house. Cool. So that's where we're.
Pro tip: get a contract signed before you start all that.
Okay.
Only because you can get a listing signed with an exempt delay that's out there for a month and a half, 2 months.
Okay.
You can cancel the exempt delay and go live whenever.
This is true. Okay.
If you don't have a signed listing agreement, then you're just getting away free professional information.
Okay.
I want you guys to think about it's your professional fee. The other day, Donna was on a scripting call and she said, like, when we're talking about reducing our commissions, reducing the things we do, you would never go to a doctor and ask them to reduce their professional fee. You would never go to an accountant and ask for reduced professional fee. Their rates are set. You agree upon them. You move on. You don't go after the fact and go, I think you should give me 1% of your money back. What? So think about it that way, is you've earned your professional fee. Now, a good story to go along with this is you guys follow along with me. So there's a warehouse, a bottling warehouse, does 10,000 bottles an hour, whatever it is. Middle of the night, running, plant manager hears a noise, the belt shuts down completely. Whole plant stops. Production halts, all the labor stops. It's costing them right around $50,000 an hour of having this plant stopped. Freaks out, calls maintenance. Maintenance can't answer, can't get there. Calls the manufacturer. Manufacturer can't answer, calls a specialist. A licensed specialist says, hey, I got a problem. My plant's down. I can't run. I'm losing $50,000 an hour. I need you out here now. The guy's like, no problem. I'll be out there. Technician shows up. The licensed specialist walks through the plant, takes a look at a couple things, walks over to a sub panel, opens a panel, takes out a screwdriver, tightens the screw. Plant starts right back up. Closes the panel, turns around, hands the guy a bill for $10,001. Plant manager freaks out. He's like, what the hell is this? You were only here for a minute. I'm not paying you this. And he goes, wait, before you say that, let me tell you this. I'm only charging you $1 to fix your belt. You're paying $10,000 for me knowing which screw to turn. So we get in the mindset too much of dollar per hour, dollar productive, where we're sitting there going, you know, it didn't take that much time. I should give them a break, or this is going to be easy. I should give them a break. I want you to put into context what the entirety of your job function is, how long you were in school, how much of my face you have to see in training classes and coaching, how much bullshit you went through to get licensed and get all your documents together and get everything taken care of, and then the countless hours of you figuring out what the hell you were doing to get to the point where you were competent and sitting down, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, yeah, I can sell your house. I'll get you an offer within 13 days. And then you negotiate the offer. You get it on paper. You get it closed out. You get an offer day one. You're rocking and rolling. You're moving on. Was it easy? Why was it so easy?
You knew what you're doing.
You knew what you were doing. Robin, do you feel more confident now than you did 30 days ago?
Yes.
Why is that?
I'm not where I want to be, but I know I have the resources, and I know there's people I can ask the questions, and I know enough to know what questions to ask.
Good. You've increased your competency, right? You've grown, you've stretched. You have become more professional. I don't expect you to be the expert. Don't be an expert. Experts have nothing more to learn. I do want you to be professional. Professionals do what they need to do to get it done. They seek out the information. They seek out the ways of resolving things. They get the results. That's why you have a professional fee. Some sellers out there are going to agree with their agents to do 2.5% on the buy side. And if you don't read your documentation and you don't read the MLS, you're going to get stuck with a 0.5% cut in your pay. Is that fair?
You should know better.
Buyer broker place that your buyers pay the rest. Little mind trick. Do you guys know that I make $169 on every transaction that I do? My business makes the rest, but I make $169.
You pay yourself a salary?
No. Well, yeah, I do, but for tax reasons. But on every contract, there's a $169 fee. Because that's exactly what it cost me per contract to do the paperwork. The 3%, that's my business's fee. My business pays me eventually. Did you guys know that you can charge a fee on top of a buyer's contract?
Yes.
Buyer broker agreement. Go check it out. It'll change your life. Did you know you can ask for more than 6% on a listing?
Yes.
Are you going to?
I always ask.
I want some broken necks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, gonna do it. Gonna get more money. Yep. Yep. Definitely them rabbits. Definitely them percentages going up. 6%. Them rookie numbers. Got to get them numbers up. Come on now. You know what changed my life? When I sat in a broker's class after years of being in this business, I mean years of doing listing contracts, and Jody Coate going, I started 8%. And she's like, you know what? 50% of the time I get it. So the next 2 listings I took, the very next 2 listings, I didn't even talk about commission. I filled it out. I went through it. I was like, cool, we're going to sell your house for $255,000. There's 0 fees right here for, retaining this and that. It's an 8% commission. It's 4% it was 5% to me, 3% to the buy side, and there's a $169 documentation fee. Okay. I went home stunned. It was out Neighbor Valley. It was a long ass drive back to the house, but I was speechless and silent the whole way. Because I had just made $10,000. So I knew I was going to sell this house. $10,000 on a house. I gave myself a $4,000 raise. Think about that. $4,000 raise. It's huge. It's damn near 50%. Just by explaining what my professional fee was. And not having it be optional. So buyer brokers are not optional for me. Every buyer broker I have says, shall pay the buyer's agent the sum of 3% of the sales price plus $295. That's really annoying. Can you guys hear it?
So the whatever it is that you negotiated your commission at, it's not split down the middle between buyer and seller agent? Huh.
Just because it says 3% in the listing does not mean the seller's agent got 3%. When you look at your HUD and the closing documents, you'll actually see the commission breakouts. And I'm actually proud when I see my number is higher than theirs. I feel bad for them sometimes. I did a deal with, it was like a $1,200 to the listing agent, and I made $7,000. Who was a better negotiator?
You were.
He gave it away to save the deal. He didn't work his client. I spend a lot of time honing my craft and my skill and working with my coaches that are extremely expensive to justify that. Because this is a business, guys. Walmart didn't get to be the massive mega retailer by doing it the same way everyone else did. They found a way to charge more and cost less. And then they went and bought the suppliers. They went and bought the supply chain. They went and bought the materials so they could make it for less, sell it for less, and make more. So for you as a real estate independent contractor business owner, a small business owner, an SBO, yay, you're a business owner. You need to find a way to do it better, charge more, cost less. How do you make more profit? Either charge more or cost less. If you can do both, you're gonna make more money. You may lose some of the gap of your sale, but it's all about making the money. So I want you guys to ask yourself this question. I started asking it in coaching. What are you worth an hour? Did you ever figure that out, Charity? She's got a variable rate depending on what city she's in.
There's a big difference in Sierra Vista.
You need a raise.
A what?
You need a raise.
Oh.
What do you
I
work?
know that to be very true though, because even what I do as drafting for engineering in Houston, I made, well, San Antonio too, I made $125 an hour 20 years ago. And here I can't get more than 40.
Yeah. I've got guys that work in my house right now, father-son team, that I paid $4,500 to do some drywall and paint work. That probably took them 4 days total. So $1 per hour, massive. It's back to that story. It's knowing which screw to turn. They have the skill set. They know what the hell they're doing, and they do it well, so they move quickly. I would have butchered it, botched it, made it look terrible, and it cost myself more money in the long run trying to do it myself. So you can look at dollar productive, like, okay, I'm worth X amount. So if I can get it done for less than I make an hour, it's worth your time to go do something dollar generating than it is to do it and save yourself money. On the flip side of that, what's the risk involved in you trying to do it yourself? If you get big enough into a point where you need help and leverage, what you do is you dump the activities that are not dollar productive for you. It's admin, leverage admin, you know? Filling out Post-its, sending cards, updating CRM, stuff like that. Where's your dollar productive activities? There's 5 of them.
Lead gen, setting appointments.
Going
Follow-up.
follow-up, kind of setting appointments.
Script and role play.
Scripts and role play, which is actually the 5th thing. What's the 4th?
Coaching.
Negotiating contracts, negotiating deals. Did you know script and role play was actually a dollar productive activity for you? For those of you who join the script and role play every morning or on a consistent basis, do you feel yourself becoming more capable?
Definitely.
I mean, hell hope I know you have because I've seen your growth. You're one of the first that I got to tango with in scripts and role play. And it was a consistency to it. It was, before it was once a week, then it became twice a week, and now it's every day. And I'm glad it's every day. I tried to make it every day for the first time because I think it's that important. Just like motivation and taking a shower, it's best done daily.
Okay, I started with once per month. I'm working my way there.
Okay.
I'm an ostrich when it comes to role playing. Yeah.
Even if you just listen, I mostly just
Yeah.
listen.
That's what I did the other day, and I really enjoyed it.
And I want you to be part of more of it. The other day, Tess, you joined in a ramp up and you got one-on-one coaching and
Yeah.
40 other people by David Jones.
I know.
We take it for granted because he's our OP and we get to see him all the time.
Yeah.
David charges thousands of dollars an hour for coaching. Did you know that?
No.
Thousands. He is a head bold coach. He is the coach of the coaches. He's one of 5 in the country. I would say the man knows his stuff. Again, back to the one screw, the $10,000 screw, right? Charging you $1 to turn the screw. You're paying for the $10,000 is my experience. So the scripts and role play is going to get you in the room with a lot more experienced people. Going to broker classes is going to get you in a room with a lot more experienced people. Coming to these classes, gets you these group sessions, getting you in the room with a lot more experience. Because collectively, you guys have all done a lot of deals, even if you've never done one. Because we've got deals in the hundreds and we've got deals in the making. And you'll all have value to bring. So bring up something. I mean, hell, Laura's joined a couple of these classes, but I invited every one of them. Almost to the point of absurdity. She sees me texting all the time. She's like, and I remember the first time I met her, she got her check and she's like, "You're Big Dan. I know you."
I run out of excuses. I have run out of excuses. So
And you're here. Look at that.
I'm here.
Constant persistence.
Right. And if I'm going to do this bold thing, I got to go all in.
I want you all to go all in.
Yeah.
That's what resonated. So I put in our group chat that now is the time to be real of where we're at. Like myself. Today, I lost half a day because of my internet and cell phone. I don't have a phone right now. My phone is bricked. Dead in the water, not working. I was making phone calls from my Apple Watch. Guess what? It died. The Apple Watches are not designed to make a lot of phone calls. And I moved into my house yesterday. And earlier on Saturday, I was knee deep in, what did I tell Amber? I'm knee deep in sweat and electrical issues. I had power shorts in my house when I moved in afterwards. We couldn't figure it out. And then yesterday, I don't have Wi-Fi. Xfinity didn't come through. They didn't set it all up.
A lot of mayhem.
But what call was I on today?
The one that mattered.
The one that matters. I had to get my life set up by 1 o'clock because I could not miss that bold call. Because that bold call matched up with my mastermind that I just got off because I'm a PC mastermind just before this one. And then I come on to you guys because I know how important it is for us to be here. I went and knocked on my neighbor's door and asked for his Wi-Fi password. How committed are you to success?
Cojones.
I'm just saying, guys, how committed are you to success?
I don't know.
we have a problem if I'm more committed to your success than you are. And I assure you that I'm more committed to your success than you are. And guess what the problem is? You have to catch me. Because I believe that everybody has the chance of making a great life for themselves. It all starts with what you do in the morning. What choice do you make in the morning? I am stoked for tomorrow to start. I used to have a joke that I can't wait for tomorrow, and people are like, why? It's like, because I get better every day. I used to say I get better looking every day, but then I got called on it. So, but that was just for me, because yeah, I get better every day. Every day is a better thing. Every day is the next step in the journey. So, bring to the table what you've got. Thank you for joining in these classes and stuff like that. So we got 10 minutes left of the schedule. Any takeaways, anything you want to work on, anything specific you want to talk about, any scripting you want to work on?
Did you have any challenges at any point in your career acclimating to or using MLS?
Yeah.
Did you share some of your triumphs?
I thought I knew how to work MLS, and I thought I was setting people up on drip systems, and I was just doing it. MLS was just going to do the work for me, send out the emails for me. No emails went out. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So,
I kind of just did that recently because I had it working well with the first 3 people I entered into there. And then the girl that I entered yesterday, I can tell it's not sending them to her. But I also don't want her to get a billion of them at one time. So
this is what I did to change my life. I've done a lot of things to change my life, a ton. I started sending the emails to myself.
yeah, that's what I started to do too.
Me too.
It says search for Robin Smith.
Yeah.
That way I know who the search is for. And I look at them.
Yeah, it's weird because like it shows my other ones is automatically like matching, but I don't know why this newer one isn't like matching in there.
Wow.
But I never got to take a Flex MLS class at
Go
TAR either.
They have the YouTube videos up on their website.
Yeah, I was gonna take one last week. They did a Zoom, but I wasn't able to catch more than like 10 minutes of it. So
yeah, so it's TAR MLS, I believe.
yeah, I'm subscribed to it. I just haven't had time to look at them in depth.
And welcome, Southern Arizona. Market stats, the Clear Corporation. Like this is a great website to go and watch the videos. And I can't remember the lady's name. She's the older lady that does a lot of the classes. Beth Ann something.
Beth Ann, yeah.
Beth Ann.
Beth Ann. Just her teaching style works for just about everybody. So you're going to go in there and you're going to find some stuff. You're going to be able to, matriculate the information a little easier. So rock and roll.
Yeah.
Go download that information, guys. If you're getting stuck on something, there's the resource. I am the resource of the resource. Do I know everything? Do I know half of it? But I know Lisa's number. So I like you guys call me first, because if I know the answer, I'll give it to you. At your level of your career, I probably know. I've probably been there. If I don't know, or it's some obscure thing, I'm gonna go ask Lisa, or I'm gonna run it up the tree, if you will, get the information, and then share it the very next PC group session. Because now, if you guys all run into a solar situation, you think you have some answers, right? I wish I would have known that. When I sold my house, it cost me $9,000 out of my bottom line to pay off that net difference.
Wow.
You think I'm going to forget that lesson? So when you have a seller that owns the solar panels, ask them, did you put your rebate towards the panels, or did you pay off debts? I paid off debts, and I still wound up paying for it. So we learn a lot from pain. Learn from other people's pain, please. Don't take it all yourself. I gotta ask, Jason, where are you?
Getting run over by my wife in Costco. She don't know how to drive.
You know those drivers. Oh, she's in a cart.
Hurt in the ankle.
Yeah, she don't know how to drive this thing.
Awesome.
Hey, Dan.
Yes, Miss Hope.
Dan, I wanted to offer, I'm relatively good with MLS and helping people set up searches.
Very.
So I'm happy to help with that. If anybody ever needs me, you could call me.
Yeah, you are very good at that, actually.
Yeah, I have the searches down. It's just the getting your contacts in there that I'm having issues with figuring out. I think I did the first two on my phone and I tried to do the last one on my computer, and I think that's what messed me up in the long run of it. So.
I do all my computer. And what I love to do is I like to set up searches so that you're doing, especially if you're out showing houses. Do you guys know that you can set up recommendations for your clients, like the ones that you like, and save them, and you can get
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Yeah, and then map out your travel. Map out. Don't just wing it. Go out there and make a plan. We're going to see this house, this house, this. Like, we're going to start on the east side. We're going to see all these houses. Then we're going to move over and see this house, and that'll put me next to my house, or it'll put me at the house that we want to see last. Because if you can, show them the house that you think they're going to like the most last or first. Any other questions?
If I have a buyer broker agreement that's going to expire because they really wanted to sell this house in Ajo first, do you just do a brand new buyer broker agreement?
Yes, ma'am. Are you selling their other house for them too?
Sean Polston is referral because it's an Ajo.
Yeah, I got a buyer for Ajo too. So
Do you?
I gave it to Sean. All right. Anything else from the peanut galleries? My lower three.
I have a question.
I have answers.
Really simple. In MLS for TAR, how do you search for like a multi-unit property that's
On the top left, so you click on quick search. Here, I'll just share my screen. How's that work?
It's a lot easier than you think it is too. It says like 1-residential, and then if you like click on that, it'll give you like 5 options.
Yeah, you guys can see my screen?
okay?
Yep.
Right here, you can click on residential, it goes to land, multifamily.
That's where you can find rentals too.
Yeah. You can also go look up rentals for people.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the other one because I have TAR and I have ARMLS, and one of them you can't do multifamily. Maybe it's the other one.
Yeah, I don't have access to an armless, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I will tell you, if you guys are going to use this search filter here, make sure you go back, and because you'll have to change it the next time you log in, because it's just going to default wherever you left it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I learned that lesson.
Yeah, when David was asking for the market statistics a couple weeks back, and I gave him like 187 listings were live on the market, I was like, holy shit, our market's going down. I had a minor freak out, but then I'm like, wait a second, that's not right. Cool. Any más? ¿Qué es uno?
Dan, I just maybe have a thought for the group as we're moving into bold. A couple years ago, I had needed to lose weight, and I just looked at myself. I had a friend, a fitness pusher in my life, and she said, go to the gym with me, and I kept blowing it off. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go with you. And I joined the gym that same day. And I thought, this is the day, you know, and ever since then, I've made strides to work out for an hour a day, consistently, 6 days a week at least. And Jason Thompson can tell you, because he and I we're buddies in a walking group, and we're going to hold each other accountable.
So this is my point, is I'm now at the point with my business where I'm saying, not one more day. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make things happen for myself.
The best time to make change is in the moment. Don't wait for a milestone.
Right.
I'm gonna get to the first of the month before I start eating right, or tomorrow I'm gonna start doing this. No, the best time for change is right now. If you want to lose weight, stop eating. If you want to be more successful, pick up the phone right now. If you want a better relationship with your spouse, look over it and speak about the things that you appreciate.
Right.
Start writing them down.
Well, so say that for me has been since 2016. So the point of it is I've been able to do it and maintain, and I can do the same for real estate. I can do the same for other aspects of my life. And so can all of us.
I love it, Hope. I love having you on the call. You always bring such good value.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Anything else before we shut her down? Be well. Go awesome. Do something cool.
Thank you, Biggie.
Celebrate the wins in the group chat, please.
Thank you.